Hey, this is David. I'm going to introduce myself later in this presentation, but this is going to be a quite lengthy presentation. It is not a commercial, but yet in one respect it is. I'm going to give you some information, but I'm going to do the thing that they do in the United States of America, in the United States Congress. Before they give you what they are doing on any day, they always pray. So let me pray. I'm going to pray the Lord's Prayer, the prayer that Jesus Christ prayed before he died. And it's kind of lengthy, but if you have not heard it, then I pray that you learn it so that you can know what it's all about. When Jesus Christ was getting ready to die, he prayed, saying, Father, I was come to glorify your Son, that your Son may also glorify you, as you have given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as you have given him. And this is life eternal, that they may know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, of whom ye have sent. I've glorified you on the earth. I have finished the work for which you gave me to do. And now, O Father, glorify you me with your own self, with the glory which I had with you before the world was. So I have manifested your name unto the men which you gave me out of the world. Yours they were, and you gave them me, and they have kept your word. Now they have known that all things whatsoever you have given me are of you. For I have given unto them the words which you gave me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I came out from you, and they have believed that you did send me. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them of which you have given me, for they are yours, and all yours are mine, and all mine are thine, and I am glorified in them, and now I am no more in the world. But these are in the world, and I come to you, Holy Father. Keep through your own name those whom you have given me, that they may be one as we are. So while I was with them in the world, I kept them in your name. Those that you gave me, I kept, and none of them are lost but the son of perdition, that the scripture may be fulfilled. And now come I to you, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. So I have given them your word, and the world has hated them because they are not of the world, even as I'm not of the world. And I pray not that you should take them out of the world, but that you should keep them from the evil. They are not of the world, even as I'm not of the world, and sanctify them through your truth. And your word is truth. As you have sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world, and for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they may be sanctified through the truth. And neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word, that they may be one as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they may be one in us, and that the world may believe that you have sent me, and the glory which you gave me I have given them, that they may become one, even as we are one. I in them, and you in me, that they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that you have sent me, and have loved them as you have loved me. Father, I will that they also whom you have given me be with me where I am, that they may behold my glory for which you have given me, for you loved me before the foundation of the world. O righteous Father, the world has not known you, but I have known you, and these have known that you did send me, and I have declared unto them your name, and will declare it, that the love wherewith you have loved me may be in them, and I in them. And that's the prayer that the Lord Jesus Christ prayed. Now, before we get started in this, if you see on the screen, I'll let it stay there. So give those who are going to be watching this presentation outside of the area of where it is. This is a county executive for Prince George's County, Maryland, as you see on the screen, and I hope to be governor someday. But this is the county exec for the Maryland, Prince George's County, Maryland, and I am a trustee in the Suitland Civic Association that you see in the red on the screen. And under that green is where you can see the county executive's Twitter page, and I do hope for you to go there, because all the information that she shows for you to know about the county, she puts it under her Twitter page. And up top in the blue, money is my plan B. Well, that's the URL for you to visit the Suitland Civic Association to find out what's going on in the city of Suitland. And that presentation is really all about the city of Suitland. So it's kind of long. So let us go on now that we've completed the introduction again. This is just to reiterate the change of how our county executive does change, and how proud she is to be a county executive of the Prince George's County, Maryland. And what this presentation is going to now is give you some exclusive information about the county that you may not have known, and where it came from, and where it has geared to go. And this purpose of this presentation is to give you an idea of what we are doing in this Suitland Civic Association, in order to try to upbuild and make it a better community for all those who are living in this community and also visiting Prince George's County and in the state of Maryland as a whole. Now, here is an opportunity for you to take advantage of this process on this day, 10/20/2020, on October the 20th of 2020, is what you hopeful for you to take advantage of. For all those, especially persons in the Suitland metropolitan area of Prince George's County, this is a non-profit organization, the Suitland Civic Association. I'm going to give you some real good background on that. So by the time I finish this presentation, I hope for you to seriously consider acquiring a application so you can become a member of the association. If you're living in the Suitland Civic community or anywhere in Prince George's County, you should be or want to be a member of this organization to become part of the growth that's taking place in Prince George's County under the leadership of our county executive and all those who are working in the county government in order for this community to become what we hope for it to be. Here is an example of things that we need to know about the county and the locations in the county, and to provide by the Suitland Civic Association, as you can see. And stop this slide and make sure if you want to access the information at the top. And there's pretty much a long URL, but the URL at the top is going to give you all the data that you see on the screen. For example, if you want to go to Suitland, Maryland, you click on that. The Suitland Parkway, you click on that. The Suitland High School. All these buttons that you see are going to give you information about what you see on the button. But to get to that level, you have to go to the URL at the top, and it's someone else's URL. I didn't put it into a shorter URL. I guess I could have, but anyway, this is giving ideas to let you see the things that you need to know about the Suitland Civic Association and how you can help become a member of the association and benefit from it. Now, here's a calendar, and this is a calendar of events that we take in Prince George's County, Maryland, and this is presented by the county executive and members of the government of the county. But you can go there and get a calendar of events or things that's going to happen in the county, and we'll put the URL there for you to see how you can acquire a calendar for the county. If you want to know what's going on in Prince George's County, top of the URL at the top is where you can get your calendar of events in the county. Now, moving on. Now, here, this is also a URL for the children in the county. This is Prince George's County public school system to show you what you can do, just give you a background of the information. It's got distance learning because we're going through this thing in the United States of America as a world as a whole with this pandemic, and over 220,000 people have died with this pandemic, and over 8 million people in America has gotten the virus. So we are now doing what they call distant learning in the county, and I'm going to give you some background for where the county came from. And this is in the year we just showed you, October the 20th, the year 2020, and we're going to show you some times that starting back quite a few years ago at what has taken place and what we've gotten to in the level. Now, this is not the first pandemic that's ever come into the world, but we're not going to get into that either. But this is also just to show you what the progress that we're making during this pandemic. Now, here, we're going to slow this down now because this is somewhat the background of Prince George's County, and Marlboro abstract is where this information is coming from. But you can see the Suitland Civic Association in Suitland, Maryland is what we're talking about, and what we are doing in Suitland, Maryland. Now, this data, all this data that you see here are coming directly from the county seat in Marlboro, Maryland, or we call this Upper Marlboro, is a county seat for the Prince George's County government. And we may not know that outside of it, but the property that we're talking about with regard to what we're going to be showing you in a few minutes is giving you the lot, is giving you the subdivision, is giving you the plot, and all this information that you see. And you stop this, and you can also go to the URL I'm going to give in a few minutes to show you how you can acquire this information for yourself. But we are a 501c3 organization, which means that we're a non-profit organization. So all the information that we're going to make in this presentation is to give you an idea of what you can do with regards to the county and how we came about in its existence. Going to give you the background of that also in this presentation. This data here again is just to show you how you can become a part of the organization, 501c3 organization, and better the community as a whole. Now, some of the things that we going to reiterate, because my background is accounting. I have a long, extensive background in accounting. I'm going to introduce that to you in a few minutes. But we are a 501c3 organization, which means we're just like a church. We're just like any other 501c3 organization. If you make donations to it, you can write it off on your income tax. And a whole lot of things that we're going to talk about within this presentation that's going to be a benefit for you. And as a member, membership has its privileges. So we hope for you to become a member. It doesn't cost you anything to become a member. But to maintain your membership, it may be a small fee. But that's not something that we're going to talk about right now. Here is the remarks that you see here. This is what took place in the county when we acquired the land for which we are operating in the county. We are a land-based 501c3 organization. You need to hear that. We are a land-based 501c3 organization, and what we are showing you in this presentation here is to give you an idea as to how this came about from the time that it came about back in 69 years plus back, goes all the way back for some time that this organization has been in existence, but many people in the Suitland metropolitan area may not know that. Camp Springs may not know that. People in the adjacent areas to Prince George's County all may not know that. They may not know the history of the Piscataway, the Mattawoman. We're going to talk about all that in just a minute in this presentation. We'll go through this process now. I am going kind of fast because I don't want to take up too much time, but in February 16th of 1939 at 3 p.m. is where this information is based here. The Suitland Civic Association Incorporated. You see, in 1939 is how long our organization has been in existence. But now these data here, you can see it for yourself and show you how long we have been organized as a 501c3 organization in Prince George's County, Maryland, and how it has grown and how the growth that we are adhering right now. So make sure you go back and study these data for yourself to get an idea of what we're presenting now. Now, Raymond E. West, and there's here James West, and all these persons, we're going to see them in a few minutes to show how these persons started this organization back in the time that you saw, 1939, in the state of Maryland in Prince George's County as a 501c3 organization on Silver Hill Road. Look at the top, it says on the straight line, 140 yards, and the point and giving you all the information about the Suitland and Silver Hill and how the organization got started. Well, we are a 501c3 in the county. All the notes that took place at that time, look at the same date, February the 1st, 1939. You see them when these took place, and all the way down to September 1939. These are information that we're taking directly from the county organization to give you an idea as to what we are doing. So, and how it's going to benefit you as a member of the association. And membership has its privileges. I'm not trying to give you a history of everything, but I am trying to get you know the importance of why you want to become a part of the Suitland Civic Association. This data you can see at the top. Judiciary cases and stretches the results of this whole process, and then company of Suitland City. See, and then you got the dependents, it's got the Silver Circuit. This is a court. This is a court making this her ruling here. As you can see, it's from the Circuit Court of Maryland in Prince George's County, and this information that you see here was referencing the Suitland Association. All right, so you can pull all these data from the court yourself if you should have a desire to know so. Do so. Also, we're moving on to Circuit Court of Prince George's County. Civil system is where this information came from here concerning the State Road versus Suitland. Now, all this information was taking place as this organization was getting started at the time that it was getting started, and this took place back in February the 5th of 1999. Bringing it up to date, we're trying to come up to date to where we are today, but just to give you an idea of where these data come from is from the county itself. You can all this information is something that you should know, but we are legitimately an organization that you want to know about. And I kept on to show you where you can get today's information from by the information we was already presented to show you that you can go to the Suitland Parkway, Suitland High School, Suitland Water Tower. All these landmarks, excuse me, are here. And I want to apologize because I do have to stop and drink orange juice in this matter because my throat do get dry. I want to apologize for that just in case it happens as I go through this process. All right, now real property search. This is an example of what we are in this Suitland area. The Suitland Civic Association is a land-based organization. And what you see on the screen is to show you how we came about and what we are about now and where we hope to grow in the future with your help and your participation in this process. So membership has its privileges. If you want this Suitland to be more than what it is, then you must want to become a member of the association, and we're giving you the membership information. Make sure you go back and complete that information and go to their website, access the application, download it, and send it in and become a member of the association. All right, so this is to give you an idea of the land, the value of the land, what it is in today on January the 1st of 2018. It's giving you the land value. It's giving you the improvements. This is what we have today in the city of the Suitland, Suitland Civic Association. All right, and you may be may not be aware of where it is if you live in the metropolitan area, or if you live in Washington D.C. metropolitan area, Virginia, all this DMV as they call it. Then you would want to visit the area in Suitland to see what is going and where we're going with it. We're going to talk about the school in a few minutes now. On 4729 Silver Hill Road in Suitland, Maryland, is where the property that we are referencing here are located. This belonged to the Suitland Civic Association, and when it was purchased, we showed you all that, and the value of it has now, and what it's going to become in the future, hopefully, if we can get the participation out of the public. The Civic Student Association, this is a membership application. We've shown you that earlier, but here is my application. You can go to the URL that have in the green down at the bottom and acquire your copy of the membership application. Now, an individual, the membership fees are listed here, and they have not changed. Presently, that's what it is. I am one of the trustees of the association, as I can say that we have not gone up on the fees, but this is what it is presently, and hopefully it won't change. It has not changed in quite a few years, but nevertheless, this is a membership application for you to become a member of the Suitland Civic Association. It's just that simple. You see the post office box? You can become a member just by copying this information, or you can make a copy of this information and send it in, or you can use the URL, and that's why I recommend you use the URL and get a membership application completed and mail it in to the address, the post office box 1117 Suitland, Maryland 20746, as you see at the top on the left, and send the application in. It's only going to enhance you in the community. It's going to help your community grow, and you're going to be part of the growth. Now, once you make a donation, then your membership fees are also deductible because we are 501c3 organization, if you can understand and hear what I'm saying. All right, moving on. Okay, this is Association Dream, of course, and that we don't look at like this now, but in the book of Genesis, let us see what happened to the dream, knock the dream out to see what's going to happen to his dream. So all this is a dream. That's what we are anticipating on and what we are working toward accomplishing as the Civic Student Association, and the locations where we are. We don't know if we're going to be that location or where, but which is just an idea to give an idea of what's being planned for the association. All these data here are presently in existence in the Suitland area. This is Suitland area that you see, and the growth that we're now doing. And And it's going to get better if you become a member and grow your community. This is how the community grow. And the persons that are coming outside of the community investing their dollars in the community and then taking money out of the community is not benefiting you in the community. So you want your dollars to stay within the community so your community will be better. Your banks, your schools, and all these other benefits for your family outings will be within the Suitland metropolitan area. So this is already in existence now, and we're moving on with this again. Senior citizens facilities all over in Maryland. This is right door. You walk out of this building here, walk right into the subway, and go anywhere in the metropolitan DMV that you want to go on the subway, and it's getting better. And right down the uh, mile or so right from here, we're going right into the Andrews Air Force Base, which is joint base now. All this is right here in the Suitland metropolitan area. So now, here is a history of the county. We're now moving on. This is something that you really want to take advantage of. The history of Suitland Plantation. Suitland used to be a plantation. Yep. And that's what we want to show you now, where we came from. You see the county executive where she's taking us now, but this is where we came from. And also we're going to go back into to show you the past, the present, and future. And that's what we're presenting, because our lives live the same way. We are the past, the present, and the future all at the same time. That's another lesson that I'm going to omit right now. But anyway, here is an example to show you the history of Suitland Plantation, because Suitland used to be a plantation. And as you can see, at the time when it started back in the 1600s is what we're talking about. And I'm not going to read you everything, but I do hope for you to stop this and look at it, because when I used the term a few minutes ago, the Piscataway and the Mattawaman, those were Indian tribes that were living in this area at the time when Washington was just growing and the slaves was being brought in from the Africa to Annapolis, Maryland, Charleston, South Carolina, and Savannah, Georgia. All this information is in our background, or in our past lives. And here, the 1600, the Piscataway tribe inhabited the land of southern Maryland. You see, and even today, right down the street in the Suitland metropolitan area is Piscataway Road, we call it, and this is Mattawaman Road. These are the Mattawaman tribe of Indians and the Piscataway Indians. And for those who you don't know, and for those that know, this is just to give you a radiation of the information that you already know. But for those persons who will watch this presentation who don't know anything about Prince George's County, then you'll know. Now, some of the things I've highlighted to give an idea of where in our Civic Suitland Association is located. Now, this is the 19th century during the prior of the Civil War. Information that we're getting here. I put this in red just in case you know the Enforcement Ku Klux Klan Act is something that you really, really want to look into now, because the enforcement of the Ku Klux Klan Act is still in existence. It's a law, and the word that you want to look at is enforcement. Make sure you understand what it is with regards to this Ku Klux Klan Act that was signed into law by President Ulysses S. Grant at the time back in the 1800s and 1800s, because it was signed in 1871. And you can see all this in this data that we're giving now. What we're giving you in this presentation, I said earlier, I'm going to say it again, we're giving you the past, the present, and the future. Okay, so this, of course, is very past 1600s, is in the past, but it'll give you an idea if you're living in the Suitland metropolitan area now, what it look like now as opposed to what it looked like back in this time of day here. So again, stop this information and go for yourself to understand it and read it, or you can Google it and put it into your memory that way. I don't really know how you're going to do it, but I just wanted to let you know how they look. In 1942, it said the Suitland Manor apartments. This is in 1942. If those who live in the metropolitan area or in Suitland area, you know where White House Square, you know where the Marlborough House is, you know all these things within your community and what you can do now to enhance the community. That's what this presentation is all about, is the enhancement of our community to show you how you can do it without taking actually any money out of your pocket, because the money that you take out of your pocket, you join the membership, that money is also going to be something that you are going to write off. And if you choose, you want to make a donation for you and your family, then you're going to write that off as well. Now make sure you stop this information and study it for yourself in order to get an idea of what we're talking about, okay? In 1944, Suitland Parkway, if you know where that is, was there in opening Connecticut to the Army Bowling Air Force Base in the Camp Springs Army Military Reserve. Now, you know what the Camp Springs Army Military Reservation was? Well, that's what we now call Andrews Air Force Base, which now is called also the Joint Base Andrews. So all this is in the past to show you, and from 1944 to up to now. But now I put this in the yellow so you can get an understanding. We're talking about Suitland High School. Suitland High School is the oldest high school in Prince George's County, and it may be the oldest high school in several other counties around this area of Maryland, because in November the 15th, Suitland High School was built. That's 69 years ago. The school is outdated. It's time for a change, for the school to be upgraded in Prince George's County, so that your children living in Suitland, Maryland, will have a place. Your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren will have a school that's up to date for them to attend to keep up with the rest of the world in education. So 1951 up until 2020, today is 10/20/2020. We want to change this date, and this is what we're talking about in making this presentation to show you. Make sure you go back and study this, get an idea as to why we're making this presentation in that manner. We've shown you now that we are, let me take a drink of my orange juice. Our organization got started back in 1939. 1939. That's how old Suitland Civic Association is. And now we're going to show you what has taken place to our school 69 years ago. And you're looking at 39, you see you're talking, excuse me, you're talking quite a few years ago. Okay, so let's go on with this presentation again, and I think I'm showing you in 1950 and to 1960s. All this information is here for you to look at your past. We've gone all the way back to the past. We first started with the future, or with the present, I'm sorry, the past, the present, future. But just how life is. We started with the present, which is our illustrious county executive, and show you what she's trying to do to upbuild Prince George's County. And what we are trying to do to help and give her the assistance for her is to help build Suitland Civic Association, or the Suitland community as a whole. Suitland, Camp Springs, Clinton, all this whole metropolitan area of Prince George's County is what we are working on to try to help build up Prince George's County in this metropolitan area of Suitland and Camp Springs, Clinton, and that what have it, other parts, Hillcrest Heights, all the other parts of this area of Suitland, which is quite a large area if you consider it and you know what I'm talking about with regards to the area. Now here I am. My name is David Richardson. I am one of the trustees of the Civic Association, and I teach the Bible. As you already know, I taught it on radio for a long time and also teaching now on the internet. And these are some of the lessons that I have taught, just to give an idea of myself and my background and what I do. And my education background, I'm an accountant. Going back with the masters in management information systems, studied for the CPA back in the 70s, and been working my own business since 1980-81. And this is to give an idea who I am, and the Diamond Review is the name of my company. And I put all this here to show you what I'm doing in the community to try to help build the community as a whole, both physically and spiritually, as well as other ways to show you how to advance in this county. Now, in conclusion of this, I'm almost at the end. Here's my dream, is to show you what we going to be. Now, in the Bible, I said it earlier about them wanting to kill the dream, but to see what happened to his dream. That was Joseph's brothers. that wanted to kill Joseph to see what happened to the dream that he had. Now here we are living in the world today, and his dream, we are a part of his dream. So you can't douse another person's dream, and this is my dream for Suitland City Hall in 2030. We're in 2020. It's not a long time, but it's my dream. If it doesn't happen in the next 10 years, it's still my dream. You can help me work on the dream, and it can become your dream. I'm going to conclude this now, and in conclusion of this presentation, this is now the Rams, home of the Rams, our Suitland High School. Our Suitland High School, as you saw, is 69 years old. It needs to be upgraded along with the technology that's happening in the world today. The school is outdated. 1951, when they built the school. Come on. On the right side is giving you an idea of what you need to do. We need to build our school up earlier. Now, you are a Suitland resident. Yep, this presentation is geared for Suitland, Maryland. But if you regardless of where you are, Los Angeles, California, or Germany, I know where you're going to be, because this is going to be a worldwide web presentation on the going to be a video, and you can see it anywhere in the world. So I'm praying that you, being a part of the association, join the association, become a part of the association. If we don't do anything at all except build a school, give us a new school so that our students, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren can have a better education than what they had back in 1939, okay, or in 1871, when this thing really got started. In the plantation, Suitland is a plantation, and it's time for us now to change this plantation and put a new school in Prince George's County, Suitland, Maryland, because it's the oldest school in the county. It's just that simple. I'm going to conclude this. I was going to, hopefully that does not exceed 30 minutes, but I'm going over a little over 30 minutes. But I'm going to pray that you go back now. Make sure you look for the application, complete the application, and then share it. Text this information to other people. Don't just keep this to yourself. You got other neighbors, people in the Suitland area, people in Prince George's County, people in the state of Maryland as a whole, and people outside. If you're in the District of Columbia, you see this, you know people in Maryland, then you text it to them. If you're in Virginia, know people in Maryland, you text it to them. Regardless of where you are, share this information with other people, because it's only going to make America get greater than what it is. I'm going to conclude this. This is David Richardson, the trustee of the Suitland Civic Association, bidding you a farewell and a good day on this 10th month, 20th day in year 2020. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.